Are you kidding me right now? Are you absolutely kidding me? Shedeur Sanders just delivered the most historic performance by a Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback in 3 decades, ended multiple losing streaks that had become national embarrassments, threw for over 200 yards with spectacular plays that had Myles Garrett jumping off the bench in celebration, earned universal praise from teammates and opponents, proved every single doubter wrong in the most emphatic way possible, and Kevin Stefanski just stood at that post-game podium and refused to name him the starting quarterback moving forward. The audacity is breathtaking. The cowardice is stunning. The absolute refusal to commit to the obvious decision that everyone watching can see except apparently the head coach is the kind of organizational dysfunction that has defined Cleveland Browns football for generations. Browns fans waited through that entire press conference desperately hoping to hear their coach show some backbone and conviction by definitively naming Shedeur the starter, and instead they got more corporate coach speak, more hedging, more vague platitudes about taking time and doing what's best for the team. The frustration and anger exploding across Cleveland right now is completely justified because their franchise just watched lightning strike and their coach is acting like he's not sure if he should acknowledge the electricity. Let's break down exactly what happened because the details reveal everything wrong with Kevin Stefanski's leadership and decision-making at the most critical position in football. Shedeur Sanders just became the first Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback to win his first NFL start since 1995. Read that again and let it sink in. 30 years, 3 decades of failure, disappointment, and embarrassment at the quarterback position. Countless first-round picks who couldn't get it done. Veteran acquisitions who failed spectacularly. Developmental projects that never developed. And Shedeur Sanders, a 5th-round pick that half the football world questioned and doubted, walks into that pressure cooker situation on the road in Las Vegas and delivers a performance that ends multiple historic losing streaks while showcasing arm talent and playmaking ability that Cleveland hasn't seen at the position in years. The specific statistics from Shedeur's performance tell only part of the story, but they're impressive enough on their own merit. He completed 11 of 20 passes for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, generating an 87.7 passer rating in his first official start. Those raw numbers might not jump off the page to casual observers, but anyone who understands quarterback play and context recognizes what an accomplishment this represents. Shedeur wasn't padding stats with safe checkdowns and horizontal throws. He was attacking vertically, taking shots downfield, trusting his arm talent to make throws into tight windows. The completion percentage of 55% reflects his aggressive approach and willingness to challenge defenses rather than playing conservatively to protect statistics. The 209 passing yards came on just 20 attempts, meaning he was averaging over 10 yards per attempt, which is elite production regardless of experience level. But the statistics barely capture what made Shedeur's performance so special and historic. The eye test reveals a quarterback playing with poise, confidence, and playmaking ability that transcends his rookie status and limited preparation time. The 53-yard completion that had Myles Garrett losing his mind on the sideline perfectly encapsulates Shedeur's special qualities. Protection broke down. The pocket collapsed. Most quarterbacks, especially rookies in their first start, would panic in that situation and either take a sack or throw the ball away to avoid disaster. Shedeur extended the play with his mobility, kept his eyes downfield scanning for receivers, and then delivered an absolute laser 50-plus yards with defenders bearing down on him. That throw had velocity, accuracy, and touch that allowed his receiver to catch it in stride and gain additional yards. That's not a play most NFL quarterbacks can make consistently. That's elite arm talent combined with composure under pressure, creating an explosive play that completely changed field position and momentum. Myles Garrett's reaction to that throw tells you everything about how the locker room views Shedeur Sanders. Garrett is the face of the franchise, the best defensive player Cleveland has had in decades, a future Hall of Famer whose opinion carries enormous weight with teammates and coaches. When he jumps off the bench celebrating a throw by his rookie quarterback with genuine excitement and enthusiasm, that's not manufactured emotion for cameras. That's authentic recognition of special talent. Garrett has played with numerous quarterbacks during his Cleveland tenure and watched most of them fail to deliver the kind of playmaking that wins games. Seeing Shedeur make that throw, in that moment, under that pressure, Garrett understood he was witnessing something the Browns haven't had at quarterback in far too long. His public endorsement of Shedeur after the game wasn't politically motivated or contractually obligated. It was genuine belief from the team's best player that they finally have someone special at the most important position. The offensive line protection issues that Shedeur faced throughout the game make his performance even more impressive and praiseworthy. Multiple times during the broadcast, you could see defenders getting immediate pressure up the middle with two pass rushers occupying the same gap, creating free runners at the quarterback. That's a nightmare scenario for any quarterback, especially a rookie making his first start. But Shedeur handled that chaos with remarkable composure and awareness. He felt pressure, climbed the pocket when possible, escaped to extend plays when necessary, and consistently made smart decisions about when to throw, when to run, and when to live for another, down by throwing the ball away. His ability to operate effectively despite inconsistent protection demonstrates football intelligence and pocket presence that typically takes years to develop. The historical significance of Shedeur becoming the first Browns rookie quarterback to win his debut start since 1995 cannot be overstated when understanding Cleveland's quarterback dysfunction over the past 3 decades. Think about all the highly touted prospects who failed to accomplish what Shedeur just did. Think about all the first-round picks who came to Cleveland with enormous expectations and couldn't win their first start. Think about the parade of quarterbacks who cycled through that organization, each one representing renewed hope that quickly turned to disappointment and failure. And now a 5th-round pick, a guy that 31 teams passed on multiple times, a quarterback that many analysts questioned and doubted, walks into that cursed situation and immediately succeeds where countless others failed. That's not luck. That's not scheme. That's genuine talent and ability revealing itself under the brightest lights and highest pressure. The 3-game losing streak and 13-game road losing streak that Shedeur ended with his victory represent the kind of organizational embarrassments that define struggling franchises. Cleveland had become a punchline in NFL circles specifically because they couldn't win games in situations where other teams routinely succeeded. Road games had become automatic losses. Streaks that should have ended naturally just kept extending because the Browns couldn't execute when it mattered most. Shedeur ending both of those streaks in one performance isn't just statistically significant. It's symbolically massive for a franchise desperately searching for any signs of competence and hope. He didn't just win a game. He broke curses that had hung over the organization like dark clouds. Jonathan Liquid's immediate reaction perfectly captures how Shedeur Sanders supporters and believers are feeling right now. The vindication, the excitement, the joy of watching someone you believed in prove all the doubters wrong in the most emphatic way possible. Hold your watches up has become the rallying cry for Shedeur fans, a celebration of his signature move and symbol of his confidence and swagger. Watching him earn the right to hold that watch up in his first NFL start, watching him deliver on the promise and potential that so many people questioned, that's an incredibly satisfying moment for everyone who recognized his talent when others couldn't or wouldn't see it. The emotion in Jonathan's voice, the genuine happiness and excitement, reflects how special this performance was for people who have followed Shedeur's journey. The criticism of Cleveland media members who doubted Shedeur and questioned whether he could succeed is completely fair and justified now that he's proven them wrong so definitively. So many local media personalities expressed skepticism about Shedeur's abilities, questioned whether he was ready for the NFL level, suggested his college success was inflated by scheme or supporting talent. They demanded he show them something before they would believe, approaching his opportunity with cynicism rather than optimism. Well, he showed them something all right. He showed them 209 passing yards. He showed them spectacular throws that had the stadium buzzing. He showed them composure and leadership that veteran quarterbacks often lack. He showed them a victory that ended historic losing streaks. The doubters and critics need to be held accountable for their bad evaluations and premature dismissals of someone who clearly has elite talent. The frustration about Shedeur only getting credited with one touchdown when he could have had multiple scoring throws is legitimate and reflects how Cleveland's coaching staff might have been trying to limit his opportunities to shine. When teams continuously hand the ball to running backs in short yardage situations near the goal line, rather than allowing their quarterback to throw touchdown passes, it raises questions about motivation and intent. Was the coaching staff trying to protect Shedeur from pressure situations? Were they trying to establish the run game and maintain balance? Or were they actively limiting his statistical production to avoid creating too much hype and pressure to name him the permanent starter? The fact that Shedeur still managed to hold his watch up and celebrate despite those limitations speaks to his determination and self-belief. The defensive performance by Cleveland in this game deserves acknowledgement because Shedeur didn't win this game alone. The Browns' defense stepped up massively, limiting Las Vegas to just 10 points and creating the kind of complementary football that allows offenses to operate efficiently without feeling like they need to score on every possession. That defensive support gave Shedeur the opportunity to play without the crushing pressure of knowing every mistake could cost his team the game. He could be aggressive and take calculated risks, knowing his defense would have his back if something went wrong. That's the ideal environment for a rookie quarterback to develop and gain confidence. The comparison to Bernie Kosar that Kevin Stefanski made during his press conference is fascinating because it reveals what Stefanski values in quarterbacks while simultaneously highlighting why his refusal to commit to Shedeur is so frustrating. Stefanski praised Kosar's grit and toughness, qualities that Shedeur just demonstrated by winning on the road in his first start while dealing with constant pressure and adversity. If Stefanski sees those Kosar-like qualities in Shedeur, which the performance clearly showed, why is he refusing to commit to him as the starter? The disconnect between praising someone's performance and refusing to give them job security is illogical and damaging. When reporters directly asked Stefanski if Shedeur would be the starting quarterback moving forward, his response was exactly the kind of cowardly non-answer that infuriates fans and creates unnecessary uncertainty. "I'm always going to take my time and do what's best for the football team," Stefanski said, which translates to absolutely nothing while creating maximum ambiguity about the most important decision facing the franchise. What more does Shedeur need to do to earn a commitment from his head coach? Win his first start? He did that. Make spectacular plays? He did that. Earn teammates' respect and support? He did that. End historic losing streaks? He did that. If accomplishing all of those things in one game isn't sufficient to earn your coach's public backing, what possibly could be? Stefanski's claim that he needs time to evaluate and make the decision that's best for the team is nonsense, because the evaluation already happened on the field during the game. Everyone just watched. Shedeur showed he can operate the offense, make plays under pressure, handle adverse situations, and ultimately win games. What additional evaluation is required? What information does Stefanski need that he doesn't already have? The answer is nothing. He has all the information necessary to make this decision right now. His refusal to do so reveals either indecision, stubbornness, or fear of admitting his previous depth chart decisions were wrong. The mention of Dillon Gabriel being with the team every step of the way and providing veteran leadership in meeting rooms feels like Stefanski trying to soften the blow of what everyone knows is coming. Gabriel is clearly not the long-term answer at quarterback based on his performances this season. His role moving forward will be as a backup and mentor rather than a starter and competitor. Stefanski, acknowledging Gabriel's positive contributions while praising Shedeur's on-field performance, suggests he's trying to manage both players' egos and maintain locker room harmony. But that political calculation shouldn't prevent him from making the obvious call that Shedeur is the starter moving forward. Stefanski's comment that Shedeur showed a lot of what he does well on the field today, while also noting there's a lot that he's working on, is technically accurate, but feels like hedging designed to avoid fully committing. Yes, Shedeur has areas where he can improve. Every rookie quarterback does. Every veteran quarterback does. Mahomes has things he's working on. Allen has areas for improvement. That's the nature of playing the most complex position in team sports. But using normal developmental areas as justification for not committing to your quarterback who just made history is ridiculous. Nobody expects Shedeur to be perfect. They expect their coach to recognize obvious talent and commit to developing it rather than creating uncertainty that undermines confidence and progress. The focus Stefanski placed on needing to play clean football and avoid turnovers feels like setting up future criticism of Shedeur if he makes typical rookie mistakes in upcoming games. Yes, turnovers are bad. Yes, teams need to protect the football. But rookie quarterbacks throw interceptions sometimes. That's part of the learning process. If Stefanski is planning to yank Shedeur for one bad game or a couple of turnovers, that completely undermines the developmental process and creates exactly the kind of unstable quarterback situation that has plagued Cleveland for decades. The reality that everyone can see except apparently Kevin Stefanski is that Shedeur Sanders just proved he's the best quarterback on Cleveland's roster and should be the unquestioned starter for the remainder of this season and potentially well beyond. His talent is obvious. His poise is remarkable. His playmaking ability is exactly what Cleveland's offense has lacked. His leadership qualities inspire teammates. His confidence and swagger bring energy to a team that desperately needs it. There is no legitimate argument for not committing to him immediately and building the offense around his strengths moving forward. The comparison between Stefanski's handling of this situation and how other successful coaches have managed young quarterback transitions is damning. The best coaches in football identify their quarterback, commit to him publicly and privately, and then support him through inevitable struggles and growing pains. They don't create unnecessary drama or controversy. They don't equivocate when asked straightforward questions. They make the decision and move forward with conviction. Stefanski's inability or unwillingness to do that raises serious questions about whether he's the right coach to develop a young quarterback and lead this franchise forward. Browns fans waiting through that entire press conference, hoping to hear their coach finally show some backbone and vision, instead got more of the same indecisive corporate speak that has characterized Cleveland's dysfunction for years. The frustration boiling over on social media right now is completely justified. Fans deserve better than watching their team find a potential franchise quarterback only to have their coach refuse to commit to the obvious decision everyone else can see. The anger isn't irrational fan emotion. It's legitimate criticism of coaching incompetence that could cost the organization another opportunity to build something sustainable at the most important position in sports. So what's your take on Kevin Stefanski's absolutely gutless refusal to name Shedeur Sanders the starting quarterback after his historic performance? Is this typical coaching caution that makes sense, or is it cowardly indecision that will haunt Cleveland if mishandled? Should Shedeur be named the permanent starter immediately with full organizational support, or is there some argument for Stefanski's hesitance that makes sense? How much damage does this continued uncertainty do to Shedeur's confidence and development moving forward? Drop all your thoughts and opinions in the comments because Browns fans need to make their voices heard, demanding the obvious decision their coach refuses to make. If you made it this far, you're clearly invested in following every development in this ongoing quarterback saga. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update as this story continues to unfold in the coming days. Smash that like button if you think Kevin Stefanski needs to stop playing political games and immediately commit to Shedeur Sanders as the unquestioned starting quarterback. Share this with every Browns fan you know because they deserve to see how their coach is handling the most important position decision the franchise has faced in years. The right call is staring everyone in the face. The path forward could not be clearer. Let's hope Stefanski finds the courage and conviction to make the obvious decision before it's too late and he wastes another golden opportunity. Until next time, keep demanding accountability and competence from your team's leadership. And keep coming back for more in-depth analysis and coverage. Peace.